The Seamstress and the Tinker. Chapter 2. The Call to Adventure. Episode 2. Having assisted the wagon with the broken axle and found an easy handful of gargoyle eggs, the Tinker received news that someone, an old sparring partner, needed a home consultation. He stopped by his shed and packed the eggs into his backpack, which he hoisted into position and set off again. He walked slowly through the town streets, a little curious as to why he had been summoned by an owl in broad daylight. Owls were kept in their eyries until well after dark. Tinker found his destination. As he entered through the gate, he greeted the house, which turned towards him and squatted, almost a curtsy. He paused to knock. From inside the house, Tinker could hear, "Who can it be knocking at my door? Go away, don't come round here no more." "What?" thought Tinker. "I was asked to come here." The door opened a crack. The old woman's voice continued, "Can't you see that it's late at night? I'm very tired and not feeling right. All I wish is to be alone. Stay away, don't you invade my home." "Hang on, my friend, an owl asked me to come here." The old woman retreated further into her home, leaving the door ajar, more by accident than purpose. "Best off if you hang outside. Don't come in, I'll only run and hide." She stopped as Tinker touched the open door and took one step forward. "Who can it be now?" "I came as requested," said Tinker as his greeting. "Curious though, I haven't ordered from you, and you haven't ordered from me." "A gift, that is all. I don't get out too often these days, just cleaning up." Tinker sensed trouble. Any gift given was one to be repaid. Payment had to be made fast and fair. No chance to barter or welch. "Sit," said the old woman, pointing to a chair, which moved in behind the Tinker, catching him as it knocked him off his feet. He had never fully understood her sense of hospitality. He pulled a chair onto the only table in the room. Several small bundles had been arranged into an obscure design, each wrapped in stained fabric and tied with twine. The crone sat opposite him, without a chair. "Like I said, just having a clean out. One of these is for you." Tinker had been here before and he knew to sit still, very still. These rules were learned through trial and many errors. Crone was one of elegant and elaborate rituals. Old magic. Holding out your hand was a big insult. Tinker paused, waiting. He held his breath and counted hers. She laboured without moving. A slight wheeze from the crone and Tinker held out the gargoyle eggs as she seized a parcel from the table. He could feel the rhythm of his heartbeats and still held his breath. "I tell you, one must still have chaos in one to give birth to a dancing star. I tell ye, have still chaos in you. Alas, there cometh a time when a man will no longer give birth to any star. Alas, there cometh a time when the most despicable man, who can no longer despise himself, lo, I show you the last man," croaked the crone. She held her parcel towards Tinker, and they made the exchange, each wary of the other. And this is the picture of a very peculiar exchange of gifts. Tinker put his parcel onto the table and untied the string, and then unfolded the fabric. There was a bottle of white viscous liquid and several small tubes. Shire gill of polyvinyl acetate solution. Smaller aliquots of cyanoacrylite. Figured you could use them better than me. Figured you could use them for tinkering. "Always come in handy," replied Tinker. "I appreciate them, but I don't think these will repair a mannequin." He trailed off, lost in thoughts. "Never mind, you tinker some other things, and these will help. Put them in your backpack." With this, Tinker remembered the eggs. He gestured towards them and watched them as the crone's eyes fell on them. Her lips curled upwards. No one else would have noticed. Tinker knew her too well. "I was picking these up when I received your message." He paused. enjoying the crone's enjoyment. I haven't bought you any in ages. I wondered if you could still use them. Precious I could get. Maybe I can. If I could pickle them. Jelly. Square the deal, she added. She stooped to her full stoop and hobbled over to a cupboard. The door swung open and Tinker saw it was bare. Her untamed red hair waved erratically. She returned to Tinker and held out her mailed fist. Tinker held out his hands together. He knew this ritual as well. She dropped a small and weighted item into his hands. A small crystal bottle, stoppered and sealed. It shimmered. "What's this?" he asked, holding it up to the light. "Keep it dark," she hissed. Tinker obeyed. He wrapped it in the fabric from his parcel. "Ant potion," she added. "Works on other insects too. Maybe spiders."